Coming up on Mountain News this morning, one Eastern Kentucky county gets some major funding to help give people better access to clean drinking water, and a nonprofit here in our region opens a new facility to help get people where they need to go.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning to you. 6 o'clock on this Friday morning. I'm Dakota Makris. Earlier in the week, I said, man, the week's going by slow. Well, I guess I misspoke because now it just feels like it just went by real fast.
Last hour especially.
Yeah. But Brandon, quick question for you before we get over into weather, because there's really not that much to talk about.
Nope.
Did you see, isn't she just, so darling, my little Winona? She enjoyed, hey, she's a great reporter.
She is a cat.
She is a cat, yes, and she gives you all the cat news that you need.
That's right.
All the stray cats out there, she has all the news covered for them.
Dakota, I love
One day, I'm going to bring her and show her on the news. I might get in trouble, but I'll do it.
Listen,
I'll take one for the team.
You might. I might bring. I tell you what, you bring Winona and I'll bring Linus. How's that?
We'll do it, and we'll go in their Studio B.
That's
and
right.
We'll just have them play and stuff, and it'll be fun.
That's right. All right, let's get into this forecast and let's play the game that we play sometimes with this camera coming up. Will it stay on or not while I'm talking about it? High knob camera over at UVA-wise. I knew it was going to happen. Give it just a second. It'll be right back. It does this to us all the time. There it is. You can see basically the little bit of clouds, maybe just a little bit of fog over there this morning. 64 in Wise now. They've been all over the place. They went from 63 to 66, now back to 64 over there in Wise. Having a good time over there this morning. 61 in Clintwood. A lot of folks near 70. Irvin, the exception there, at 64 up in northwestern parts of our area. Dew points up there again in the mid to upper 60s, so it is a little bit soupy out there this morning. 93. That is the forecast high this afternoon. Average high is 85, and if we get to 93, we will tie the record. Just now figured that out. Set back on this day in 1991. Dakota?
All right, Brandon, thank you. Well, Thursday marked 3 weeks since a tragedy rocked one Eastern Kentucky community when officers were ambushed in Floyd County. 3 of them were killed along with a canine officer, and the incident left several others injured. Yesterday, we had the chance to talk with one deputy who was scheduled to have his 8th surgery after being injured in the shootout. Thursday, June 30th, 2022 is a date many in Eastern Kentucky will remember. Floyd County Sheriff's Deputy Darren Lawson was one of the several officers who responded to the shooting in Allen.
The hospitals kept me busy, so I really haven't had much time to really dwell and think about what really happened just yet.
But he cannot help but think about his 3 fallen brothers. He finally got the chance to talk with Deputy William Petrie's son.
And share some stories with him, that me and his dad had. And same with Ralph. Me and his son Kelly we were friends through high school.
Lawson is at UK Medical Center where he has undergone 7 surgeries. Now he is preparing for his 8th.
Surgeries that we've had so far, a lot of them has pretty much been clean outs, making sure there's no infection.
On Monday, doctors repaired his Achilles. His next surgery is scheduled for Friday.
We're trying to seal the wound, so they're going to go in and try to close it up.
During his stay, a heartfelt reunion was had with his 2-year-old daughter, Ryan.
After I was shot, at the time before I was able to get out of there, that she was one of the main things that I thought about, and and it was just an incredible feeling.
And his fiancee Madison has been right by his side.
She's been a rock. She's been amazing. She's been here with me pretty much every night, and so she's juggling, me and Ryan, and then having to go home and take care of the house and our animals.
Waiting for the day he can return home.
I'm not going to let some coward win. So I'm going to keep going until however long it takes. I'll be up on my feet before too long.
Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News. A benefit lunch for Deputy Lawson is set for next Wednesday, July 27th at the old courthouse. It starts at 10:30 a.m. and I want to thank Deputy Lawson for giving us the chance to tell his story. On Thursday, Governor Andy Beshear announced $30 million is going to projects across the state to provide clean drinking water to more than 1,200 families. Some of those projects are in Floyd County, where nearly $2 million is earmarked. Well, they include building a 200,000-gallon water storage tank, a booster pumping station, a pressure reducer vault, and 19,000 feet of water line. The money is coming from Governor Beshear's Clean Water Program, which was funded by the American Rescue Plan Act. Last year, $250 million was put in the program.
With so much heartache that has gone on in that community, we're excited that we can deliver a little bit of good news. So just like internet, when we announced the largest public investment ever with more to come, more opportunity right now to get clean drinking water to folks than ever before.
Well, the governor says local utility companies can start submitting projects now for a second round of funding. The application process will continue through the end of the year. All grant recipients must use the funds by December 31st, 2024. LCLP hosted a ribbon cutting and open house for the new Knott County Transit facility yesterday. The LCLP Community Action Council is dedicated to helping people help themselves and each other. Community members and local officials are excited for the impact this new location will have.
The LCLP Transit Authority, they help so many people with going to doctor's appointments and, getting their groceries and so forth of the elderly that don't have any way to and from to these facilities.
The organization serves about 12,000 people across Leslie, Knott, Letcher, and Perry counties. If you or a loved one need any assistance, you can call your local community action agency. Governor Andy Beshear has made a pitch to a company that took over plans to build an aluminum plant once promised to Kentucky. He's trying to salvage a deal struck by former Governor Matt Bevin. Governor Beshear says his administration has reached out to Steel Dynamics, offering to show potential sites. Well, the company says it will build and operate the mill, but didn't specify a location other than to say that it'll be in the southeastern U.S. It took over the project in a deal with another company that has failed to deliver on its promise to put the plant in Kentucky. Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron is challenging President Joe Biden's vaccine mandate. His team argued their case in front of the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit. The Attorney General says he's fighting what he's calling federal overreach. He's challenging the vaccine mandate for federal contractors. He says the decision should be made on a state level.
We're doing the work here at the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals to make sure that we're standing up for the interest of our state.
In a statement, the White House says the Justice Department will vigorously defend the mandate and said the mandate works. Doctors at UK Healthcare are getting ready to officially open a new clinic. The new Sanders Brown Center on Aging Memory Clinic sees thousands of patients a year. Those patients and the years of information they've provided doctors have led to groundbreaking discovery. Kristen Kennedy reports.
It's amazing that looking under the microscope is sort of like being on a glass-bottom boat. You see evidence of a whole different world.
Dr. Pete Nelson has studied this different world for decades.
Turns out 40% of people that we thought had Alzheimer's disease actually have something else.
More than 10 years of research, tens of thousands of patients' brains under microscopes.
This is definitely a person with late.
Led Dr. Nelson and his team to a whole different dementia disease, commonly known as late.
Late is a disease that produces Alzheimer's disease, but it's not Alzheimer's disease. In other words, you have amnesia, you can't remember, you forget, and you have memory and thinking problems. But you don't have the features that we see underneath the microscope that tell you that Alzheimer's disease itself is there.
Dr. Nelson's team at the Sanders Brown Center on Aging found late, and now Dr. Gregory Jaika's team studies it.
We're really looking at a diagnosis that's never, as of yet, been fully embraced in the clinics.
Dr. Jaika has identified a drug he believes could slow, maybe even stop late. The drug is currently being used for heart conditions. He's running clinical trials on it with his dementia patients in Lexington.
While we have medicines that we can use for the symptoms, we need medicines that actually address the disease itself, and that's what we're looking for. That's the focus of all of our efforts here.
Do you believe your trials are providing hope to patients with dementia?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I believe the trials are providing hope to me, and through that hope, hopefully I can give my patients the same hope.
The drug Dr. Jica is using on patients with late is legal everywhere except the United States. His hope is that his clinical trials will produce enough evidence to convince the CDC and FDA to authorize the drug here.
We need to advance the science, develop these new medicines, and create a day when Alzheimer's and late are no longer feared by the aging population because they're medically manageable.
Because once you demolish a third of your brain, you can't rewire it. You can't rebuild a 4-pound brain that's gone down to a 3-pound brain back to a 4-pound brain. You can't do it. But you can prevent, theoretically, a 4-pound brain from losing that pound. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to prevent the progression of dementia.
Currently, there are no treatments and no cure for dementia.
And with each patient that I care for and that eventually passes, the passion grows stronger and stronger. The need to stop this becomes more real every day.
At the Sanders Brown Center on Aging,
Kristen Kennedy, WYMT Mountain News.
The center is always looking for research volunteers. If you're interested, you can fill out a research interest form online. You can find a link to do so over on our website.
6:11 here on this Friday morning. We're tracking fog. We're tracking a little bit of cloud cover, but we're not tracking much else. Let's go to the fog map this morning, visibility map, and you can see many spots from Ashland to Logan through Pikeville, through the Cumberland Valley into East Tennessee, all the way over toward Lake Cumberland, near or at zero visibility. So be extra careful if you're traveling. Remember, most of those sensors at the airports in higher elevation. So if it's showing up there on those sensors, then you know it's foggy in those valleys. US 119, US 23 at Jenkins. Not so much over there this morning, but I'm sure just down the road in that valley on the other side there, close to Jenkins, it's probably a little bit foggy over there, maybe up on the mountain going into Southwest Virginia as well. 61 Clintwood, 70 Jackson, Prestonsburg, Jacksboro, and Jonesville this morning. Everybody else right there in the upper 60s for the most part. Some mid-60s over toward Irvin. 3 degrees cooler in Pikeville this morning. 5 degrees cooler in London and Moorhead. 4 degrees cooler in Hazard. 3 degrees cooler in Middlesboro. 1 degree cooler this morning from 24 hours ago in Harlan. 93 this afternoon. Can't rule out a pop-up shower or storm in the heat of the day, but the heat index is going to make it feel like closer to the upper 90s. Triple H strike continues all weekend long, but some Saturday night storms could be a possibility, especially for our neighbors in the Big Sandy, and then rain chances will increase as we head into next week. Dakota?
All right, Brennan, thank you so much. It's almost 6:13. We come back here on Mountain News this morning. The House of Representatives passes a bill in an attempt to protect the rights of married couples who choose to use contraceptives.